Hello, this is Timothy, and we are getting ready to start number four segment in our book club series called Better You Book Club. We're going over Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, and it's an incredible book. So far, it's really talking about some powerful concepts. These are concepts that, we don't realize how much influence our past has had on our present and how much it could have an effect on our future. So it's really important to understand some of these concepts. Let me jump right into it. Make sure to, if you're on Facebook, make sure to, join in the conversation by commenting below. If you just like what you learned, comment below and like it and share it so we can expose, more people to this incredible information. Today's concept we're talking about is called the Money and Success Blueprint. And here's the concept. Here's a wealth principle. Give me 5 minutes and I can predict your financial future for the rest of your life. The reality is that we are driven today by the thoughts that come into our heads. And so, we have a blueprint in our life just like we have a blueprint for our house. And so we have a preset mindset that was already programmed in from our past experiences. And we might be in a situation right now because of that blueprint. And maybe we're not happy with that. Maybe we are happy with that. Maybe we're wondering why we're so successful. Maybe we're wondering why we're not as successful as we want. So we're going to go right through it and share with you a couple of these concepts. The first concept is, it's called, let me show you. I'm going to switch. T leads to F leads to A equals R. So the wealth principle is thoughts lead to feelings. Feelings lead to actions, and actions lead to results. So I want you to think about that. This is something that really determines, so really it all starts with thoughts. And so when it comes to thoughts, what does that really mean? That means whatever thoughts pop up in our head determines our feelings. And then that determines what action we take, and then that equals the fruit that we're looking at. And we always focus on the fruit. Yesterday, if you haven't watched yesterday's, go back on Facebook or go back on YouTube and look at number 3, because it talks about all about the inside roots that are going on that bear the fruit. So today we're talking about how to really understand the roots. So in the roots are our thoughts. Now, where do the thoughts come from? It's really programming where the thoughts come from. He mentions a really cool story here about, how, people come from different, backgrounds and from different cultures. They have different thought processes, and people teach us, sometimes our parents have sayings that we talk about, my personal saying, my mom always said, money doesn't grow on trees. I also grew up in a culture that talks, a lot about money is the root of evil. And, I always wondered, and I always knew that it could happen, but I always wondered, is that the only way? Is financial success really tied to evil? And so these are literal foundations that have been inside of me that I have to explore. So the truth is how we're programmed is really what creates our thoughts. So we're going to edit that principle right now quickly and add the P. Programming equals our thoughts, which equal our feelings, which equal our action, which really equals our results. So if you want to change the fruit, what you really need to do is change the programming. Okay? So he goes on to say that there's really three ways of understanding programming. Number one, it's the verbal programming. The verbal programming is literally, what did you hear when you were young, when it relates to success, when it relates to money. Okay? Modeling, what did you see when you were young? And specific incidences, what did you experience when you were young? These three aspects, he says, of conditioning are important to understand, so let's go over each of them. So the first one we're going to talk about is called verbal programming. And he tells a great story about a gentleman who came to his seminar, and he made $800,000 a year, and he had for several years, maybe, I think he said, for 8 years earlier, 9 years earlier, but he was still only scraping by. And when he really dove deep into it, he remembered that his mom had once programmed into his head, just by talking about it, that to be better than just over making it was to be selfish, and to be rich was to be evil. And so he literally had a subconscious program going on that if he had any money over just making it, he was actually selfish. And so he found a way, subconsciously he found a way to give away his money with bad investments, to do so many different things to get rid of that money for two reasons. Number one, he wanted his subconscious mind to be, satisfied with his programming, but also he felt like his mother would not approve of him if he was rich. And so these are really powerful stories about, thinking about our own past and thinking about what really, keeps us from developing the strategies of the top 5%. And so that's really, that made me think. I don't know about you, but that really made me think. So what kind of programming have you had in your life? Think about it for a second. So another wealth principle that he talks about in the book, I'm going to read it to you. When the subconscious mind must choose between deeply rooted emotions and logic, emotions will always win. So that emotion is based off of the programming that we learned. And then the logic is what we're thinking now. And so understand that unless we go back and deep and dive into the logic of our programming, we are never going to let today's logic overpower the emotional programming of the past. So what we really need to talk about is how to get back there, okay? He also talks about an example for himself that when he grew up, when T. Harv Eker grew up, his father would come home every day and slam on the kitchen table and say, "Man, these stocks stink. The stock market is just horrible." And in his own success, he found so much success in business, but he never found success in stocks. He always seemed to choose the bad stocks, the stocks that really, never really made him any headway, any progress, any profit, until one day he discovered this discovery of programming. And once he discovered his mindset on stocks, he reprogrammed himself, which he's going to talk about through this book. And then all of a sudden, his stocks started soaring and succeeding because he reprogrammed his mind. He got rid of the emotionally rooted problems of the past, and he could now listen to the logic of his reality today. So the last thing I want to share is how do we change the verbal programming? And this is where we want to focus. And this is what he says, that we first have to become aware. So awareness is the first step. Awareness is literally figuring out, where these concepts came from and remembering where we learned these. Maybe it was, with our parents. Maybe it was family, friends. Maybe it was, church. Maybe it was a community that you're a part of. Maybe it was watching your parents do business and it was a great business programming. But maybe like me, you probably, heard some interesting things that you didn't really know how to take, and you didn't know it was having a negative impact on your future goals. So the first one is awareness. So figure out what is out there. The second one is understanding. Now, understanding is all about, understanding how it's affecting you and how it has affected you and how it will affect you. Okay? Third one is called disassociation. Now, this is where you have to admit that the old programming was not based on your experience, but someone else's experience. And you have to figure out, is this the same reality for you? Or is this literally something that you really don't have to attach yourself to? Because in your reality, it's different. I want you to think about that. And then the last one is declaration, which is claiming a new future. So today I want to end by really encouraging you to get this book. This is an incredible book. Again, if you just joined us, we're going over Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And it's incredible to go through this book and really understand how much our inside roots are developing the outside fruits. So the declaration today I want you to do with me is to touch your heart, and you're going to repeat after me. Okay, I'm having a hard time holding the book. Touch your heart. What I heard about money isn't necessarily true. I choose to adopt new ways of thinking that support my happiness and success. What I heard about money is not necessarily true. I choose to accept new ways of thinking that support my happiness and success. That's pretty awesome, right? Awesome time, okay? And then I have a millionaire mind. I have a millionaire mind. So with that, I would say good day to you, and I encourage you to get this book. Find me on Facebook at Tim Vandeman, and join me in the conversation. Follow me on a daily basis so you can keep reading this book along with me. And if you're just seeing this video for the first time, grab the book from any online source, and then literally start at video 1 and go through this with me and add comments. I look forward to continually following this feed and communicating back and forth so I can really, learn from you as you read this book too and your insights. So with that, I'm going to ask you, ask that you have a blessed day. Ask that you are speaking life, that you're remembering to do your power showers, remind yourself and overcome any of these challenges that you're doing simply by speaking life. Today I'm going to have a great day. Today I'm going to have a great day. Make it a great day by speaking it into a great day. So with that, I would say God bless. I ask God to be a blessing in your life today and help you to understand how to change the way your past program is, so your future can be what you want it to be. Enjoy the day, and I look forward to interacting with you on Facebook and YouTube. With that, goodbye.